We just finished a full office build out, about 12,000 square feet, in 60 days. So from start to
Wow.
finish with permits, inspections, brand new offices. I mean, 60 days is a quick feat. It wasn't easy. There's a lot of things that have to be lined up. But like I said, we try not to get stuck on the little details, try to get
Mhm.
responses right away. One of the things this tenant actually was moving from one space to another. They were in the same building. There was an issue with, the carpets. They picked out a certain carpet. They didn't have it in stock. They didn't have enough quantity. I told the guy, run upstairs, take the carpet, go right upstairs, get an answer within today. Tomorrow I need an answer. A lot of times we'll see like, okay, we sent an email to the client. We're waiting
Right.
for a response. Like 2 weeks go by.
Oops.
So that I feel like if we move quickly on getting answers, getting solutions, things move very.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Co-founder of Upscale Construction, a Connecticut-based firm specializing in large-scale commercial, adaptive reuse, and multifamily development. Thank you so much for being here, David.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Awesome. Well, let's just start at the beginning. What drew you into real estate in the beginning?
This is it. I knew this was my first job. I got right out of school. I went right into property management, and I was in New York many years ago. And this is what I enjoyed. This is how one thing led to another, and here we are.
You just fell into it right away.
I don't think most humans would pick this job out of. Nobody goes into this on purpose.
Just a happy accident.
I think it's 13 or 14 years now. So I'm glad we did it, but I would never imagine choosing this. But here we are.
Yeah. So tell us about. So you already built and developed another company as well. Tell us about that.
So, I started in property management. I think we had 4 properties. I started managing, this is in New York. This is many years ago, and it was a whole different ball game back then. I think one thing led to another. I found that I enjoy the construction part of it. We specialized in basically taking underperforming assets, finding government funds, because a lot of these properties were in lower income places. We take government funds and help figure out how to turn these assets around physically and do it effectively. So I think we started at 4 properties. I think when the time we left New York, I think we had 1,200 apartments, give or take. As time went on, we noticed that New York started really cracking down on business owners, and it became more about fighting the city versus improving the tenants' lives. We left New York and never looked back. Like I said, one thing led to another. I think that at the time we left New York was about 1,200 apartments. We did a test run in Connecticut and New Jersey. Connecticut turned out to be more, landlord friendly, business friendly. I moved to Connecticut. I managed about 4,500 apartments in Connecticut. And then again, I enjoyed the construction part. I like the technicals. I like those types of challenge versus, educating people how to actually, what to put down the toilet, what not to flush down the toilet. And in 2018, we launched Upscale Construction. It's a full third-party, development company. We do construction, development, adaptive reuse, and here we are today.
That's amazing. Managing 4,500 complexes, how do you juggle all that?
4,500 apartments. I think it was about 50 complexes. So we had a lot of, we had over 200 staff, at 200 people. It definitely was a struggle. I felt that it wasn't as enjoyable because you're more babysitting than actually, you don't get, when you're on that level, you don't get to see the finished product. You don't get to feel you don't feel that you're improving people's lives. Yes, you feel like you're moving a big boat, and you don't get that intimate feeling of like, hey, like, Joey, we helped him and we helped her. We had, the individuals on the construction side. I feel like it's a lot more personal.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Every project is an undertaking. Every project, it's a lot more rewarding, in my eyes, at least. I enjoy this part of the business a lot more, and this is where we ended up. It definitely was a lot of work. It wasn't an easy task. There was many sleepless nights. A boiler goes out in the middle of the winter, and then you have 200 apartments without heat. It's a fun. It happens.
Right. Yeah, and making that jump to construction, like, just tell me about that. What did that look like, and what kind of education did you dive into?
So I always did the construction part of it. I always enjoyed the construction part of it. I think that it's more of a responsibility and a liability. It's more of the challenge, right? Like what I specialized in was, we had a group. The group bought, they purchased a property. They gave us the keys. They said, okay, guys, we have one group that, one division that will essentially turn over the asset physically, and one that will take care of the tenants and manage it and really handle that part. I always gravitated towards the construction, and I spent a lot of time doing it. So a lot of trial and error. We learned a lot along the road. I didn't go to special schooling for it. I did do a lot of classes. Like every time there's any classes that are easy to access online or even in person, I'm very technical. I like going to I went to a lot of boiler trainings. Different manufacturers had different courses where they offered, like, for example, we had many properties. So you'd call a technician or a company and say, let's upgrade this boiler plant. You call 5 different companies. Each one proposes a different brand. Early on, I learned was you sort of have to have some type of brand, preference. You have to say, this is what I want. This is the type of system I want. This is the controls I want. So very early on, I was always asking those questions, taking those classes from different manufacturers. So then we'd call in, a company, hey, could you upgrade our boiler plant? It was more like, it wasn't just the uneducated consumer. It was more like, okay, I want this company, this brand, this controller. Now give me a proposal. Now you could bid that out apples to apples, because we knew we had, 50, 200, boilers. I knew, okay, here's my history. This is the ones that last. These are the ones that don't last. These are the different headaches and issues that pop up from it. This is something that I've developed over time and learned the hard way. So
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, and it sounds like you've built a great team around you as well.
Yeah, thank God we have a great team. Our core management people here are here with us at least for 5 years. So we're not constantly switching people up. The people that work here, they like it here. They don't want to leave. So
How do you
I think we're doing something right.
Yeah, how do you create that company culture?
I think that we give a lot of people the responsibility, but also the authority to make the changes on their own. So we're not micromanaging all our staff. We're telling them this is what we expect. Now, if you have any issues, come back to us. Yes, we're on top of them, double checking and doing weekly meetings. But a lot of it, almost everybody that works here has the authority to make, decisions, and they feel like they may make mistakes. We'll back them. We all do. We're all human. We all make mistakes. I think that's the feeling that we give them. And one of the methods that we give them that feeling is by asking them, what do they think? Someone brings up an issue, whether it's a job site or, whatever it is, we always ask them, like, okay, what do you think the solution should be? And it sort of gives somebody that may not have the correct experience, like, we trust you. We may guide you a little bit better, but like, it doesn't have to be my way. You're entitled to your own way. And if it works, I'm happy that it goes that way. Like, I don't know everything. And we try to hire people that know better or more than us. But I think that creates a culture where, like, it's not like I said so, and therefore, you have to perform. It's more like the end game is that we build something that's quality and the client's happy. So I'm happy to give you the authority to make the decision. We may suffer from it and we may pay a price.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
And that's why sometimes we'll double, triple ask, are you 100% sure? Like, did you think about this? Did you think about that? And if it makes sense, check yourself out.
Yeah. Yeah. And I would imagine that not only attributes to the company culture, but that also attributes to your efficiency and the way you can move through things quickly.
I think so. I tell people we all live on WhatsApp, the instant messaging app that a lot of people are not, familiar with, but everything goes on WhatsApp. So we don't, you're not sending a message, an email to somebody, hey, I need an answer, and you'll get a response in 3 weeks. Everything in our company is instantly. So someone's on a job site and they have a question, I'll send a quick video, a voice memo, and within, 5 minutes, you'll have an answer or, a direction to go, and we move fairly quickly. Our architects, our engineers, we bring everybody on WhatsApp. And, obviously everything that needs to be documented gets followed up with an email like, hey, thank you, we're just confirming X, Y, and Z. But for efficiency, we find that very, very quick, you could get answers. And if somebody doesn't operate on that level, they won't fit in our company. If our architect engineers, if they're not in that mind space, like we need to move quickly, it doesn't work. We just finished a full office build out, about 12,000 square feet. In 60 days. So from start to finish with permits, inspections, brand new offices. 60 days is a quick feat. It wasn't easy, and there's a lot of things that have to be lined up. But like I said, we try not to get stuck on the little details, try to get responses right away. One of the things this tenant actually was moving from one space to another. They were in the same building. There was an issue with, the carpets. They picked out a certain carpet, they didn't have it in stock. They didn't have enough quantity. I told the guy, run upstairs, take the carpet, go right upstairs, get an answer within today. Tomorrow I need an answer. A lot of times we'll see like, okay, we sent an email to the client. We're waiting for a response. Like 2 weeks go by. So that I feel like if we move quickly on getting answers, getting solutions, things move very quickly.
Yeah, because time is money in your business.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's amazing. Yeah, so you say you focus on high impact projects. How would you define high impact?
I think something that gives back to the community, something that makes a difference to the space. Obviously, as a contractor, we'd like to take any work that people send us, and a lot of our work is relationship based. So like, yes, we have parameters that we take these jobs versus those jobs, but we do go out of our parameters sometimes to build a relationship or to enhance a relationship, just to keep things flowing. So we focus on things that will make a difference to the space and to the area. So, a lot of people call us with, things that are underperforming, things that, other people have tried and they failed at or they didn't perform at. So we'll come into areas and markets where people, haven't done this yet. We have a big development site now in Middletown, Connecticut, and a building that's been sitting for vacant 12 years. It's vacant for 12 years. A lot of people have looked at it and tried. Those are the things that we enjoy. We really like the challenge of like, nobody's been able to do this. There's got to be a reason or a way that we could do this, more than other people. Doesn't mean we're the best. We're not the fastest. We're not, but we enjoyed those projects of like, okay, how come nobody was able to do this? And was it because they didn't ask the right questions? They didn't know the right people? Like, what could we do that can actually make a difference in this, site, this property, this city? Those are the things that we enjoy. So we try to gravitate towards those types of projects.
That's amazing. Do you have an example of something that's been really great for the community?
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
So for example, we just finished an adaptive reuse. It was a nursing home that's been sitting vacant for many years in South Windsor, Connecticut. We just had a ribbon cutting ceremony, I think about a month ago now. I think 45 apartments. It was sitting vacant for many years. It was a beautiful city. And this is a nursing home that went bust. I'm not even sure why. And essentially we came in and really changed the way that the property was used. For example, the property was a big square and they had long hallways down the middle. And it's a single story. So what we did was we created roadways around the entire property and then had direct access to the apartments. And instead of accessing the property just from the front, and then you have to walk down these long, narrow hallways, and then you end up with much smaller apartments. So what we did was we created a road around the entire property and there's no common areas now where everybody accesses their apartment directly from outside. It's very hard to show on a conversation. We essentially changed the method that this property is used. Yes, it took a little bit of out of the box thinking, but I think it came out a very nice product. I mean, it's 55 and older community, and I think there's a lot of residents there. They like it. It's very easy to access your apartment. You park right in front of your apartment and you go directly inside. And I think it's a shift of the way the property was used until now. It took a little bit of out of the box thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so fascinated with the adaptive reuse part of your business. Can you explain just kind of a breakdown of what that is for people who might not know?
Okay, so adaptive reuse essentially is you have a property sitting, that let's say it used to be in this case was a nursing home for many years, and you come in and you change the type of property that, the type of property that it's going to be. So in this case, we made it apartments, but we're doing now an office to hotel conversions. We're doing all these different types of properties where essentially it's been used for many, many years as one type of use, whether it's a department store, a retail space, or an office, or an industrial building, and then essentially you take the property and you adapt it to something else, something that has a better use, a better product, a better, financial, product. I think that's essentially what it is in a nutshell.
Yeah. And I mean, talk about some more creative reuses you've done.
We haven't done that many. I think we're at the fourth or fifth one now. We're doing right now, and we have an industrial complex. It's 35,000 square feet, single story. Essentially, this was designed as like a contractor base. You see, they're very cool. Everybody's building them. In 2020, we were approached and we came up with this concept where a lot of people had to make hard decisions. Do I give up my business or do I give up my home? So we came to this complex and we said, hey, we'll make this a live-work facility. Because they're already built out as contractor base. Essentially, you already have your main door, you have your own, utilities. We essentially came up with this idea. We'll just add another story on top of each space. And upstairs will be living, and downstairs will continue to be, business. So it's like a little kitchen and a commercial, an ADA bathroom. And you could have a yoga studio downstairs. It could be good for an architect. It could be for, anybody that has a small business that essentially, even if they have employees, you can't really run a real business out of a residential neighborhood. You can't have tractor trailers pulling up here because it's an industrial zone. You could run a real business out of it and live upstairs. I know after, 1940s, when people were coming back from the war, a lot of people had this idea where they lived and worked in the same place. You had a bodega, they lived upstairs, but that concept has really gone away. And now that people are, struggling for better, for worse, and people are seeing that we could, condense our live and our work type of, environment. A lot of people are choosing this lifestyle now. So we something we're in the middle of right now. We should be finished actually our first batch of four units. The next batch is 10. And like I said, it's 35,000 square feet. So we definitely have more to go. But there are a lot of challenges along the road. A lot of towns are not familiar, or they don't like these ideas, or they're worried that whatever you're proposing may affect them negatively in other ways. Other developers come in with crazy ideas. So there's definitely a lot of bumps in the road. It's not an easy feat, but it worked.
That's amazing. I love that. And then, so talk about as you're zoning, do you have to is the zoning involved in that? Is that difficult and challenging?
100%. Like, people call us all the time, I want to build in this city. I always say, okay, this city is good for zoning, that city is good for building. So you have a lot of that. Some cities, the zoning is very easy. They want development, but the building department is very tough. Like, they really nickel and dime on every little tiny thing. Some cities, it's vice versa. So you're never going to have it smooth sailing. No project is 100% bump free. The zoning definitely plays a big, play in the game, especially when you're proposing something that may have not been done in this town before. So a lot of people are nervous. That, rightfully so. They're very worried about it. It definitely plays a long time. In this project of the live work units, it took us about a year, and I want to say maybe a year and 3 months to get approvals just to come up with this concept and build it. So definitely was a lot of back and forth. Like I said, a lot of towns are nervous. You're proposing something that they don't know or they haven't seen. So we have to bring, studies and data showing other cities what they've done. And it's definitely a struggle. It's not easy. But any construction, project has to go through zoning approvals. And every city's got some, grouchy guy sitting on the board that he just doesn't want any development, or he feels that every developer is out to get him or ruin his city. So you have that. We see that a lot.
Yeah, and as you guys build, you guys are both contractors and landlords, so you have a pretty good, well-rounded view of everything, correct? Yeah. Talk about that. Talk about how, like, what makes your firm different.
So like I said, I used to manage about 4,500 apartments here in the state of Connecticut. So we have a very good data on what sells, what rents, what doesn't. And I'm still tapped into, different groups and friends of mine that have a lot of apartments or a lot of, the real estate. And so we're constantly analyzing like the numbers, like, okay, does this make sense? What are the numbers today? Yesterday on one of my groups, like somebody was basically saying like they got $2,000 for a studio in this market. I was like, okay, great. That means that it passed, a different threshold. Like now we could start developing this product because I have no ownership or assets in that town, but they were just informing me like, hey, check this out. We got this and this, like I said, this and this rental type. So we see that a lot. We have a lot of data and we know what sells and what doesn't sell. Mm-hmm. For a long time, people were building apartments without laundry in the units. So we know, because we have, many apartments, we know the number one thing that sells an apartment today, and it's been like this for 5 years at least, is to have laundry inside the unit. And we see developers putting up buildings all over with a central laundromat. We're like, that's crazy. Nobody wants to be hauling a laundry basket down the hallway. Those days are over. So like, that's just one concept where like, we see that our advantage, we bring a lot to the table that a developer, a lot of developers, they build a building, they hand it off to a management company. They have no clue what the tenants are happy with, what the tenants want. Like, they may hire some firm to do some type of market research, but they don't intimately know what sells, what doesn't sell. We're boots on the ground. We have a lot of friends in the industry here. So when people call us, could you build this building here? I'm like, that's the wrong market, or that's this and this challenge. And people appreciate that. Like, they appreciate that we'll tell them, don't build, or build with this, but don't put ceiling fans in all your apartments. We had we're middle of a development now. The landlord approached us. He says, okay, he has this crazy dream. He's building these huge units. I mean, like 1,200 square feet apartments. I said, look, great. You're going to have all these challenges with cost. And I look at the floor layouts. I'm like, you have fans in every bedroom. I said, okay, you're going to build, let's say it's 150 apartments. I said, that's 300, 400 ceiling fans. You know how many calls you're going to get back that a ceiling fan is shaking? I mean, is that something you want to deal with? He's like, it's an amenity. I'm like, it's an amenity that's going to cost you so much in the long run. What we do often is we put the boxes for the ceiling fan. That means they have the special boxes that have an extra support. And then if the tenant wants to put a ceiling fan, it's on them. So we do that often. It's only another $1, $1.50 for a box, but you're not responsible for the ceiling fans.
That's really interesting. Yeah, you guys have a really good view of everything. And that kind of plays into your efficiency as well.
I think that's why a lot of people like us and they keep calling us, because they know that we'll tell them, don't do this, don't do that, and some people, it's like a lot of developers, it's like a dream of theirs. Like they build this building so they can walk around and tell all their friends, I built this beautiful building, and some of them do a really good job. Some of them don't really know what they're doing. So we're there to hold their hand, to show them, hey, great, we love the concept, we love the idea. Just make these 5 changes and you'll really take it over the edge.
Yeah, amazing. So what's next with your business?
I think just growing, seeing where this takes us. I think the tariffs are going to play a lot into this industry, and people are sitting on the sidelines. Like I said, it takes a lot of time to develop a set of plans to really develop development. So people are moving that forward. A lot of people are sitting on the sidelines, they're developing plans, but they're not necessarily actually building anything or getting ready to build. People are just waiting to see how this plays out. I think that we'll see a lot of new construction start coming to market once the playing field plays out a little bit. Once we see is this tariff thing here to stay? Is it is it leaving? I think once that really levels itself out, I think that we're going to be swamped. They won't be able to keep up. I know there's a lot of people that they have plans, they have ideas, they have pieces of land, or they have properties. They're just waiting right now. So that's definitely going to be a challenge in the future, like building everything that everybody wants to build.
Right. And where can people find you?
Upscalect.com. Upscale, like Connecticut.com. We're on all the social media platforms. We're everywhere.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here today, David. I think people learned a lot about your business and also adaptive reuses and all that.
All right. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. Everybody, thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you back next time. Bye.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.